Classic fam, what's good? It's Brant with CPC Bodybuilding, the home of men's classic physique. Today I got a video for you guys. We're talking about the Arnold Classic coming up here in 2.5 weeks. Some of the physique updates with that. We also have some discussion around a video that I just put out. So we got some guys to watch this year. I put out part 1, 3 guys you need to watch. This is just the first iteration. Going to be way more to come. And then lastly, some interesting news in bodybuilding, not in classic physique, but people have been discussing the men's wellness category at a local show in Brazil. We'll get into that as well. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, what's good? Again, my name's Brant. I run the account here at CPC Bodybuilding, men's classic physique. If you guys like the channel, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe for the algorithm. I'm really close to 1,000, so make sure you guys get in there and subscribe. And if you do not follow me already, make sure you hit me here at CPC Bodybuilding on Instagram. Give me a follow. Now here's where you can follow me, guys. CPC Bodybuilding, like I said. So let's jump into it today, guys. So like I said, the Arnold Classic Ohio is just 2.5 weeks away. We are 17 days out when I'm recording this here on Tuesday. Arnold Classic, it's the second biggest show in bodybuilding. Lots of big names, a lot of Olympians here in the classic physique lineup. In my opinion, it's going to be the best classic show that we have seen at the Arnold Classic to date. The most talented, the deepest, you name it. So we'll start out with some physique updates. So first up, we got Darren Farrell out of Ireland. So Darren did not compete at all last year. Darren won the 2021 San Antonio Pro, which got him to the 2022 Olympia. Darren's a bigger guy, so I think that's what he's really got going for him heading into the show. He's definitely got a lot of muscle mass. He's got to come down quite a bit to make the weight cap, but size is the game that he has to play here. He does have very solid shape, but I do think that there are some really stellar physiques in this lineup when it comes to shape. So Darren's going to probably have to play that mass and like kind of the nasty condition look. So he's a guy you got to look out for in the lineup. Now, next up, the latest addition to the Arnold Classic lineup is Kendahl Richmond. So the latest addition to the Arnold Classic lineup here is Kendahl Richmond. So this is from today, a physique update. This looks like post-workout posing right here. So Kendahl is, though he's a natural guy and 2-time world champ, he is huge. Like, dude's 6 foot, roughly 210, I believe, on stage. So despite being natty, I mean, dude is just absolutely massive, like a total unit. You may not expect a guy who's natty to be this huge in person, but he's going to be able to hold his own in terms of size. When he was at Pittsburgh last year, his pro debut, actually, there's probably some photos here of that somewhere. But anyways, when Kendahl competed in Pittsburgh last year, he was competing against some guys who were just like absolutely massive. Guys like Jaworski, DeBoel, Eric Wildberger, Westermeyer, kind of bigger, wider guys. And Kendahl had no problem holding his own in terms of size. So it's really just going to come down to, I think, hardness and detail. And he's definitely got the detail. It's just really hard as a natural guy to really dial in the hardness, just because it's a different look that the drugs kind of create. So that's the one thing. I think if Kendahl can really bring a truly hard look along with the great condition that he brings and obviously the shape, the tremendous muscle maturity, I think he's got a really good shot at an all-time best here. So next up, of course, we cannot forget about the reigning champ, Ramon Dino. So Ramon won last year's Arnold Classic, took it back home to Brazil. Another second place finish at the O this year. So not much of a physique update, but this is a workout. He's 17 days out as of today, but you can see looking very vascular, very pumped, despite being this close to the show. And Ramon's really got that full round muscle, which I don't really think he ever gets flat. And if he does, you can't tell. He's just got that very genetically gifted type of muscle, just great insertions all around. And He trains hard, which that's also going to help you maintain that great look, whether you're in the off season or if you're deep into prep like he is right now. So that's Ramon, 17 days out. And then last update that I know that we definitely have to see, we got to see Breon. So this is, I believe, 3 days ago. So this would be about 3 weeks out. And this is in Tijuana. So he's there with Chris Cormier, his coach. And there is Rubiel Mosquera. Now, he's not going to be at the Arnold Classic, but Breon sure will. Breon, the 2018 Arnold Classic champ and 2-time Classic Physique Mr. Olympia. Looking big in that side chest right next to Rubiel, a.k.a. Neckzilla. So the hamstring looks pretty gnarly too. I think Breon has really been focusing on the legs this offseason. That's been his biggest critique from the judges. He looks very round and full here in this set of lateral raises you can see right here with his coach, Chris Cormier, in the background. But what I know is Breon has really been working on those quads and those hamstrings, especially the quads, because if he can just create a little bit more of an X-frame, Breon's got to be right back in that discussion for top 3 at the Olympia. But that's really the only limiting factor right now. He's got a very complete physique from head to toe, one of, if not the best back in Classic Physique. So I definitely think we're going to see a great performance from Breon. I like him to be at least top 4 here. He's definitely going to be top 4 at this Arnold Classic. Could be as high as 2. I don't see him being Ramon, but he's definitely going to be up there. So that's Breon. Now, after the Arnold Classic updates, I wanted to talk about some of these athletes to watch. So I drop a lot of these videos here on my Instagram. So whether we're talking about rookies, we're talking about Classic Physique Olympians, talking about poses, golden era type of stuff. This is the one that I just dropped on my page. So I listed 3 guys that you guys need to watch this year. These are guys who all sat out last year trying to make improvements. So we got Fabian Mayr out of Austria. We've got Blake Course out of Canada and Josh Eastham out of the United Kingdom. So all 3 of these guys have tremendous upside. Now, Josh is one guy I want to start out with. He's the youngest out of these 3 guys. Josh went from amateur to pro in just a matter of 1 weekend back in 2022. So Josh, he competed at the Finland Pro Qualifier back in 2022, won the Pro Qualifier, then proceeded to win the Pro Show right afterwards, which took him to the Olympia in 2022. So Josh went from amateur to Olympian in just a weekend. So tremendous upside. I think he's got great shape, as you can see here from the video. And Josh is definitely a guy who's had time to put some mass on. He looks way more conditioned this year than the year that took him to the Olympia in 22. So Josh looks a lot better now and has only improved on an Olympia qualifying season. Now, Blake is also another guy who really intrigues me. I think Blake's got great classic structure and shape, just very genetically gifted. Also a great, talent in bodybuilding because he's worked hard and chipped away and just continually improved every time he's gotten back on stage. And that's what it's looked like he's done this offseason. Blake has always been just a menace in the front shots. He's got that great favorite classic pose that's really, really hard to compete with. He's got wide lats, very wide clavicles, great quads. His weakness has been his back typically, but that's been the focus with he and his coach Cam Cheek this entire offseason. I know they've been working on that. So I got no doubt that Blake has made the necessary improvements. It's really just going to be a matter of how does it stack up versus other guys from the back. And I do think Blake is capable of winning a show this year. So we'll see which show he picks out. I don't know where he plans to compete, but wherever he does, I'm sure he'll do very well. And then Fabian Mayr is another guy with so much upside. He's finished top 10 at the Olympia. He was, I believe, 8th at the 2022 Olympia. And dude has just like insane shape. He's really tall. So he already, kind of compares with guys like Chris Bumstead, Ramon very well, just due to his structure sheerly. Now, there are a lot of tall guys who haven't necessarily filled out quite as much. And Fabian, while he looks great in the front shots, the back is also the weakness. But I'm sure he's been working on that as well with Boss of Outlaw, his coach. So Fabian's another one of those guys who he's got the frame, he's got the silhouette, the detail, the muscle maturity, the condition. It's all there. It's really just a matter of putting together a really, really solid back and making it undeniable. And I think he could go very, very far and potentially win some even bigger shows than he's already won. So those are 3 guys that you guys need to watch. Now, I got part 2 of that. So more classic physique competitors to watch this year. So let me know which athletes you guys want to see in that next one. Leave it down in the comments. And finally, so bringing us to a bit of a controversial topic. This was something that came up just a day ago. So over the weekend, there was a men's wellness category that came out of a local show in Brazil. Now, it's important to state that this local Brazil show is not affiliated at all with the NPC or the IFBB. It's just a very small federation, local only to Brazil, as far as I know. Now, this got a lot of attention on the internet because it was very controversial. And that's kind of what the algorithm tends to reward, right? So a lot of people are talking about the men's wellness potential division. Could they see it being added to the NPC IFBB docket, even though we already have a bunch of divisions? And it seems like we're just adding new ones every other year. With the additions of Classic Physique 8 years ago, we had wellness come around, I believe, just like 2 or 3 years ago. So we're constantly changing, constantly evolving and adding and looking for that next big thing in bodybuilding. And I think it's a valid question. Is men's wellness that thing? Now, it's valid to question it, but it's also valid to answer it. And really, the biggest question mark in my book is there a market for it? Can the NPC or the IFBB make money off of this? That's the big question mark. And since this news broke yesterday on Monday, it appears as if the NPC and the IFBB have made a statement suggesting that they are not interested whatsoever in a men's wellness division. Now, I believe that their reasoning for this is probably the same reason why I also believe this would not be a good move, at least at this moment in time. The first reason is probably the biggest reason, the most important. Money. Money is everything. The NPC and the IFBB at the end of the day are businesses. Promoters are trying to make money off of these shows. You need competitors to be competing in these shows in order to generate a profit. You need eyes on the sport. You need sponsors in order to make money. I don't believe that there is a demand for men's wellness. I don't think people are going to want to watch this. It's as simple as that. I don't think there are athletes who really want to compete in that, at least in the United States. Now, I've been following bodybuilding closely, attending shows all around the country for the past few years, and I do not believe the market would demand this type of show. So men's wellness, it just, there's no demand for it right now. And if competitors aren't going to be signing up for it, then the NPC and the IFBB and these promoters who create these shows are not going to make money off of it. So they're not going to be interested. Money talks, guys. And men's wellness, there's just no demand for it. I think the second thing is, while it creates a lot of shock value, which is going to create views, I think the NPC and the IFBB probably has some fears about what it could do to the perception of bodybuilding. So last year, the IFBB and the NPC received a lot of criticism, a lot of heat after a Washington Post article came out discussing potential sexual misconduct alleged by former athletes, particularly female athletes. Now, I don't believe there's a whole lot of merit to these after doing my research and plenty of investigation, but they took a lot of heat last year for it, whether it's true or not. And I think the addition of this division would probably not be a great look right now. It just seems like it's too flashy. It's a little bit too in your face, and it may draw the wrong attention to the sport. So that's why I think they're not interested. In the near future, I doubt we see a category like this being added. If you don't follow me, make sure you do. Instagram accounts right here, CPC Bodybuilding. So follow me there on Instagram. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe for the algorithm. I'm super close to 1,000. Make sure you guys get me there if you like the classic content. So again, we got the Arnold Classic coming up in 2.5 weeks. If you guys are attending the show, make sure you come say hi. I will be there covering the show, giving you guys all the updates leading up to it. Highlights, previews, you name it. I'll be giving you guys all the inside stuff. So that's going to do it for the video today, guys. This is Brant signing out for CPC Bodybuilding. Keep it classic, y'all. See ya.